In this video, we'll add an Azure subscription to the Office 365 Azure Active Directory. We'll start by going to the Office 365 Admin Center, Show All, and choose Azure Active Directory. That'll take us to the Azure Active Directory portal, signed in as, in my case, jroller at fla123.tech. Next, we'll click Users, and we'll create a new guest user. The user that is assigned to my Azure subscription with owner permissions is this user, and I choose Invite. Then I click on that user I just created, and I choose Directory Role. Add assignment. If I search for Azure AD, I see all of the assignments that I could choose. I'm going to choose Global Administrator and then select. Next, I have to go to my email and receive the invitation, process the invitation, and then come back. Here's the invitation I just received. Choose Get Started. Accept permissions. Then I go to my Azure subscription. Notice this is my Active Directory role for my Office 365 tenant with only 3 choices under Favorites here. When I choose Azure subscription, I see all kinds of additional services available. So I'm going to go to Azure Active Directory. So I'm going to choose Switch Directory, and on the right side I'm going to change it to Contoso. It's going to force a login with the same user I already have. And now in the upper right it shows that my directory is Contoso. So if I choose Azure Active Directory here again and Users, I now have my users from my Office 365 tenant connected to my Azure subscription. To learn more about connecting your Office 365 tenant to your Azure subscription, click on your profile in the upper right corner and choose Switch Directory. Then choose Learn about Directories and Subscriptions. And this document walks you through the steps that we just took, and it also outlines additional options and settings. Considerations connecting the Office 365 tenant to my Azure subscription, or trouble I had getting it to work. I learned I cannot use a cloud service provider subscription, an internal Microsoft subscription, or a Microsoft Imagine subscription. It's the internal Microsoft subscription I tried to use. Permissions had to be granted from the Office 365 tenant side rather than from my Azure subscription side. I must have owner permission to the Azure subscription I'm trying to connect with. After adding my guest user, all I had to do was log in to the Azure subscription with that user and it would automatically connect. But that's all it did. I didn't have permissions to see anything. So I had to go back and add a directory role assignment. And I tried Application Administrator, Cloud Application Administrator, and Cloud Device Administrator. I ended up using Global Administrator. After connecting these 2 directory services, I noticed Switch Directory is on many Azure screens and it's easy to perform.